All right, so now we are looking at our second artist for the Pre-Raphaelite. His name is John Everett Millais. Now, he was also a founding member of the Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood and a dear friend of Rossetti. Excuse me. The artwork I want to show you is this one here. This is Millet's Ophelia. So what we see here is, well, in line with the Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood, we're looking at a scene from Shakespeare's play Hamlet. This is Ophelia. Ophelia is if you're not familiar with it, that's okay. Ophelia is one of the main characters in Shakespeare's play Hamlet. Hamlet was a young man, and after he killed Ophelia's father, it's all complicated, it's Shakespeare. But after Hamlet kills her father, Ophelia goes crazy and she drowns herself in a pond. What? Yeah. So, in accordance with the Pre-Raphaelite, what we're looking at here is a subject matter that would be off limits for the Art Academy. It's a fictional subject matter. It's Ophelia. And we see her in this hyper reality. Everything in this painting is extremely detailed. There is this gorgeous intensity to this landscape, this waterscape. What I'm showing you in this is it cannot do it any justice. I can tell you 100 times over that this painting is hypnotic. The light, the texture, the attention to detail, every single leaf, every single petal, every single twig is so crisp, so clean. This intensity is meant to pull you in and overwhelm you with not reality, but some kind of a fictional story. It was presented at the Salon of 1855, and people loved it. I wish you could be this close to it. When I was a student taking art history classes, my instructors were like, "This is haunting. We have here a young woman who has gone mad, and she is dead in the water. And every single brush stroke is there to heighten the sense of reality and the life that is all around, bursting out of this, and not from within the young woman." Oh my goodness. What I can say is my experience when I saw this in person. So, as an art history student, obviously I'm an art history nerd and I appreciate all of it. But when I saw this, I was like, okay, yeah, sure, it's like super real, whatever. When I saw it in person, that's when I came around to the brilliance of this painting. It's not just a beautiful young woman who is floating lifeless in a pond surrounded by all of this life. We can read into the symbolism of all the flowers. We will get into that. But I show you this specific detail here because it was while looking. I want to keep my face here so you can get the intensity of my understanding. It was looking at this painting in reality and being about this close to it and being mesmerized by the reeds and that grass that grows in these very shallow channels of water in it's very common. I can't believe I'm forgetting the name of it. It's not an algae, but it is a grass, and it grows in the very calm river waters in southern England. Uh, but what he's captured, it's so realistic. And I was standing in front of this painting and I was like, okay, let me just try to figure this out. And that's when I realized the stillness of this water, her body floating, there are no ripples in the water. Ripples caused by a breath. Her lungs are not moving. there's this deathly, deathly stillness to the body, which is displayed in the lack of any movement in the water. Why does my text keep on doing this in the middle of these dramatic moments of revelation? It's because I keep on stopping and then going, and I'm putting my phone back on sound so I don't miss any text. Excuse me. Off now. So, the intensity of this scene. He, Millet, also worked en plein air, like what we saw with Constable, and his attention to the light, his attention to these flowers, all of that, he was using his own physical references. He was praised for his attention to reality, to the point that he had his model sit in a cold bathtub of water for hours on end in this dress. So this dress here, if you're interested in the historical fashion, this dress is a dress from the period of, I think, oh goodness, it's an antique dress at the time, and it was embroidered with this silver thread. So it was a very delicate, beautiful, elaborate, expensive dress. Millet had the model. Her name is Elizabeth Siddal. He had her sit in a bath, and then he sketched her out for hours to get the sense of light refraction and the weight, and she complained about how cold it was. She is also the wife of Rossetti. Now, I don't think Millet was having an affair with her, but Rossetti was married to Elizabeth Siddal while he was having an affair with William Morris's wife. I'm telling you, it's all incestuous. So we have this realistic representation of this woman in a bathtub becoming a drowned woman in a river. And the details of the flowers here, they also have symbolism. The small lavender ones here, those are forget-me-nots, often included with funerals. Forget me not, don't forget me. These big poppies, these big red ones, poppies are often symbols of death. In fact, they are still used widely as a memorial flower for the Great War, World War I in Europe. You'll often see officials wearing poppies, red poppies. The violets that are around her neck are symbols of faithfulness. So here it's that faithfulness to her father versus her love, Hamlet, and it's like a chain around her neck. There's a lot more we could talk about. This fallen tree here over the river, we see these new sprouts of life hanging with the dead. So we see life and death and this delicate balance. It's intense, and it's a beautiful example of the Pre-Raphaelites. And with that, I'm going to close out with this. Another movie? Yes. So this one, when did this come out? This came out November of 2014, and it's about Effie Gray. She was the teenage bride of John Ruskin. This guy. This guy. Yeah, he was an older man, and he married this teenager, Effie Gray. She was part of the artistic circles that the Pre-Raphaelites were hanging out in, and they got married, and the movie is about their really awkward, sexless marriage. I'll just tell you this. Ruskin was like so put off by her on their wedding night because she had pubic hair, and he was like, "Oh, pubic hair, what's that? Like, I've only seen paintings of women with no body hair." And she was like, "I'm sorry, dude, this is life." Anyways, they eventually got their marriage annulled, and she married Millet. She married this guy here later on because they're all mixed in together. It's a pretty interesting movie, and it stars what's her face? Oh God, Fanning, Dakota Fanning. So go check it out.